G'day and welcome to the Grow a Small Business Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Truen. Each week, we speak with an owner who has grown a business with 5 to 30 team members to something bigger. Diving into their numbers and unearthing the pain they've experienced, we explore what they did to overcome each barrier and what they would do differently from day one. Let's get into it. We'll have all the show notes and any resources mentioned in the cast on our website. In 2015, formed a business partnership with her ex-farrier, who in 1985 invented a non-nail shoe for horses. After patenting and eventually selling that, he teamed up with Annette 5 years ago to launch the latest business, which has seen annual growth of 25 to 120% in each of the last 3 years after massive first-year growth. With only 5 competitors in the world, they sell through over 500 stockists in Europe, USA, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia, which is their smallest market. Went from 2 team members to 11 and admit to being a little lean on resources here. Grew organically through cash flow with some federal export and R&D grants as well. Their manufacturer in Indonesia can make up to 400 pairs of horseshoes a day or almost 150,000 each year. The Indonesian company also warehouses and ships most of their orders. They invested heavily in systems and technology with a big focus on excellent customer service experience. Outsourcing marketing initially is key. Felt they had succeeded when they bought and moved into their warehouse. She believes the hardest thing in growing a small business is the first 2 years. And advice Annette would give herself on day one is get help. It is so important to get someone to assist you and advise. Welcome everyone. Today I'm interviewing Annette Kaitinis from Scoot Boot. Thanks for your time this morning, Annette.
Thank you for having me, Troy.
How we know each other, let's start with that one. That's pretty easy. Peter, my awesome editor in Kenya, my podcast editor, reached out to you by email and you said you'd be happy to come on and have a chat.
I did.
Well, maybe tell our audience a bit about your business, where it's located, what it does and how it makes money. Right.
Well, we sell an equine product, hoof boots for horses. And we commenced the business, or we launched the product in April 2015. We operate out of a warehouse down at Cambridge, which is just a few k's from the airport. And it's just a healthy alternative for horse owners out there in the world. Instead of shoeing your horse, which is an ancient practice going back thousands of years, where we used to nail iron onto a perfectly functioning hoof. We don't need to do that now because there are healthy alternative options like our product, which is, as I said, a hoof boot. So you use our product when travelling over rough terrain with your horse, or if your horse is transitioning from being in shoes to being barefoot. It's just a great, I guess you could say we're disruptors in this industry.
Great. Yeah. Well, I must confess, as I did when we started chatting before we hit record, between you and I mentioned that I was in Pony Club when I was a child. I think my mum was living vicariously through me. So I do know a little bit about what you're talking about. And it's an important thing health-wise for the horses, obviously, to have a much safer boot for them.
Absolutely. And not only that, it compromises the whole integrity of the hoof structure when you're nailing iron onto the end of a hoof.
Yep.
And there are all these other consequential injuries or damage that is a result of shoeing a horse. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not aware of that. And so we not only just sell a product, we also try and educate equine owners out there in the world about the problems that they may encounter if they continue to shoe their horse. Whereas with our product, it's just such a better option than shoeing, and it's far cheaper and far healthier.
Right, great. And you're based just out of Hobart here, and the warehouse is in Cambridge, about 20 minutes out of Hobart.
Yes, it is. And we've got a small showroom there as well.
Yep.
So we have some customers coming off the street and popping in to say hello and purchasing product. But we primarily sell to the overseas market. We've got a huge market in Europe, a market in the US and also Scandinavian countries and Canada, New Zealand. So
Wow.
Australia is our smallest market.
Oh, great. That's a wonderful success story. Is that, so I assume you sell through distributors in those countries? You don't sell direct online?
Yes, wholesalers. We call them stockists. We have approximately 500 worldwide.
Right.
And a lot of those stockists are in Europe and, as I said, in the US.
Yep.
So they purchase from us at a wholesale rate and then, of course, sell to the end user.
Yeah, great. And I see also you got a great website. You also sell direct to the consumer through that?
We do. So we have direct sales in Australia. I guess you could say we're the distributor in Australia. And of course to the US, but not so to Europe, primarily because of the language barrier.
Yeah.
And you know that we have so many stockists in Europe, so it's far easier for the end customer to use one of our stockists and purchase the product over there.
Right. Yep. And so
it's easy for us too because we don't have to deal with that customer.
Yeah.
Having such a big wholesale market in Europe, we just sell the stock to our stockists in bulk, in volume, and that's the end of it. We essentially have one customer that we deal with, so it makes it a lot easier for us because we do run lean.
And the US then, so it's a slightly different model. So you warehouse it there and sell online and ship it?
We warehouse here in Hobart. Mm-hmm. That is for our retail market, but for our wholesale market, all the product goes out from our manufacturer. So that's our 3PL. We use our manufacturer as a 3PL. Yeah,
3PL for the audience is third-party logistics, so a company that warehouses and ships your goods for you. Amazon are pretty big in this space. FBA, it's called, Fulfilled by Amazon. They've just launched in Australia in the last year or so, and they've been quite popular because obviously they're very good at what they do in that regard. A lot of infrastructure, a lot of technology. So 3PLs are great. You don't have to become a logistics, business. You can delegate that off to someone else. So it's very smart.
Mm.
So tell us how you started out. Was this a product that you developed and designed?
No, I can't take all the accolades for this product, unfortunately. My business partner, Dave MacDonald, so he was a farrier and he was my former farrier, which is how I knew him. And because I did used to shoe my horse many years ago, my horses. And so when he was a farrier, he was thinking outside the square and he just saw so many horses presented to him with hoof pathologies. And he just thought, there's got to be a better way to provide hoof protection for horses because so many horses were lame and presenting lame and as I said, had so many problems because of shoeing. And so he set about to produce or design the first practical hoof boot, and that was back in the 1980s. And that was the old Mac, for those listening in who are aware of the old Mac and all the other hoof boots on the market. So he then moved that on and sold the patent, and he then started looking and designing a far superior boot than any other boot on the hoof market. And the scoop boot was born. And so he started doing the R&D on, got a prototype and started doing the R&D on the prototype, on the product, and the trials were successful. And then I had spent a couple of decades in Melbourne practicing as a solicitor and later as a barrister. I then decided to come home to Tasmania and we reconnected, and he was looking for a business partner, and I had always wanted to do something like this. I'd always wanted to bring a product to market and have an e-commerce business. And so I guess I was in the right place at the right time, and he approached me to, as I said, take the product to market. I did my due diligence for a few months and a lot of research, as barristers do, us lawyers do, and then decided to do it. And so that's how Scoop Boot was born. So we then set up the company structure. That took 6 months, and we started a Facebook page. So that was basically our platform we launched the product from. So we got such a huge following in just the 6 months while we were getting ourselves prepared, and we were getting inundated with all these inquiries about, when are you going to sell your product? When can I buy your product? And so we've eventually launched 6 months after, and that's how it all happened.
Wow, that's a wonderful story. Yeah, it's bringing together your passion of horses, obviously, and your passion of starting a business up and taking a product to market. That sounds like a very a good partnership too with David.
Yeah, well, we're very lucky to enter into this space because it's a very empty space, and it's emerging because the barefoot movement is starting to take traction and build momentum, and as it has done in Europe, which is why we have such a big market there. And so it's an emerging market. It's a very empty space. We only have around 5 competitors worldwide.
Yep.
So it's a great space to be in, and also of course it's challenging, but it's very rewarding as well because we're helping all those horses around the world to have a much better life without shoes.
Yeah. Do you have some key numbers you can share to illustrate the growth of the business?
Yes, I do. So, of course, in our second year, 2016, we grew by over 1,000% because, of course, we had started from April the previous year. But we've got a lot of growth on the boards. In 2017, we grew by 120%.
Yep.
2018, 64%.
Yep.
2019, 25%, and then 2020, 54%.
Wow.
So we have entered out of startup into growth, and I think the fact that our product is far superior to any other hoof boot on the market speaks volumes, and our product speaks for itself. And we've grown organically, and the word has got out there that our product is the best, and so that's why I think we've had this success, and we have had amazing growth. But we haven't even started to scale up yet. This growth has been organic. We have taken time out to get all our systems in order, get our platforms integrated. We're codependent with our manufacturer, so where we have to ensure that we can't scale up without our manufacturer scaling up at the same time. So we're actually just about to scale up, hopefully by the end of the year, and we'll then see a lot of growth, hopefully.
So you're still a bit constrained by supply at the moment, so you haven't got
we're not so much constrained, but we're still tweaking our product and getting it right, bringing accessories into production. Of course, during COVID-19, it's been difficult because we've had unprecedented sales, and our manufacturer is, of course, implementing all the rules and regulations associated with COVID-19, with social distancing. So, we've got our challenges during COVID-19, but hopefully we can move on and go out the other end and be ready to scale up. Our manufacturer has brought on some new moulding machines and moulding operators, and so we can now I think produce at least 400 pairs a day now. So
great. Wow.
Yeah.
And are they based in Australia, the manufacturer?
In Indonesia.
Great.
Bekasi.
Yeah. And what about an indication for growth, I guess, starting out, the full-time equivalents and to what you have now in the business? So it was just yourself, would you say, was pretty much full-time?
Yes. I was along with Terry Masunda. He started out before we even brought the product to market with us, and Dave, but at the time Dave was operating another e-commerce business of other products that he had designed and to market. So it really was only Terry and I to begin with, and so I was wearing a lot of hats and was extremely busy, as a lot of business owners can relate to. You work, you just work long hours every day. So
Yep.
it was really a hard slog.
Yep.
So we brought a few members on every year, and as I said, we're into our 5th year now, and we now have 11 employees,
Great.
including Dave and I.
Yep.
And
Sorry, say that again. Sorry, you were just breaking up a bit. The audio cuts in and out a bit sometimes.
Yes, we now have 11 of us working in the Scoop Boot team.
And that includes you and Dave?
Yes.
Yep.
We do run lean, but we're able to because we have sophisticated IT platforms that all integrate together, and they're all automated and in the cloud. So
great.
It saves us a lot of time, and as I said, it's automated, so we are able to run lean.
Systems and processes are so important, especially with fast growth. Get that right. You've done the right thing, in my opinion, early on. Set things up, take your time.
Yes.
And now it sounds like your next chapter is a big focus on growth and marketing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we, while we're on the subject of marketing, as a startup, we really didn't know much about marketing. In fact, I didn't know much about anything at all. But with our marketing, we outsourced that to a digital agency, marketing agency. And so now we've entered into growth. We've taken that back. Mm-hmm. And we are now we're managing the marketing ourselves, and we're outsourcing discrete tasks.
Yep.
But yes, marketing is so important, as you say. So are the systems. We need to get that right. So it was good that we are growing slowly. If we had have grown fast at the outset, we probably would have crashed and burned.
Yep. That's good. That's a really sensible approach. When was the moment you felt like you'd succeeded?
Oh, gosh. I guess when we moved into our new warehouse, we were bursting at the seams because we started in a shed on my place.
Yeah.
And we had a mezzanine level upstairs where we had our office space. And I think once we bought our premises, our warehouse and office down at Cambridge, we knew that we were pretty much a professional business going places. So, but I mean, there were so many times where we knew we had achieved success. I mean, we had our Scoop boots being worn by mounted police at the Super Bowl final.
Wow.
So, and it was on TV, and seeing these horses wearing our products. So, there are all these moments that we've seen over the years where, we've just been so proud of what we've done and what we've achieved and where we've gone with this product, because we're everywhere around the globe.
That's
and
great.
People are raving about our product. And, I think it's just every day we see success. So we're very grateful that we've come this far and people love our product, and we've had this success.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I guess on that, what does success look like to you?
Oh, look, I always say this, and we don't just sell a product, and I think I've already said this in this podcast. We don't just sell a product. We're passionate about the welfare of horses, and that's success for me. That if we can get at least one horse out of iron into the Nikes of the hoof boot world.
That's a good true line. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, I feel that I've had success.
Yeah, great.
Because horses, they are so much happier when they're able to run free, barefoot.
Yep. And back on marketing, number one thing you'd recommend to marketing a fast-growing business?
As I said before, outsource to a marketing agency. Let them do all the work, and then, it comes with, I guess, not having control over your marketing, but when you're so busy trying to get everything, trying to undertake all the tasks you need to undertake, you have, and especially if you're not a marketer yourself, you need to outsource that. So that's one thing that I would recommend, outsourcing your marketing until such time as you're able, as you know what you need to do and how you need to do it, and then and then keep that in house.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. A lot of people do that. They use an external agency initially to help them set the framework up, the brand, and get all that right. And then eventually, when you get a bit bigger, it does make sense to bring it back in house. Yeah.
Yes, and it's good. I mean, we're getting success with that, and we're able to take control back. We know what. We look at the metrics, we can analyse how we're going, we know how much ad spend to throw to a campaign, we know what we're going to get back. Yep. So it's very calculated now. We know what we're doing, we know how much to spend, we know where to throw our money, we know what markets are working for us.
It's such a different age, isn't it? It's all measurable now online.
It is measurable.
I love that old marketing adage that half of your advertising money is wasted. The problem is you don't know which half. That's the old way of print marketing. And
absolutely, and unfortunately for the print world out there, everyone who has an e-commerce business goes digital and goes markets on social media, because as you say, you can measure it. Why would you throw so much money into print advertising when you don't know what your ROI is going to be? It's so good now that we can measure everything.
Yeah. I assume you're advertising on Facebook. Are there other social platforms or online that you're advertising on?
Mainly Facebook, Google AdWords. We do a little bit on Insta, not so much on Insta.
Yep.
But yeah, mainly Facebook, because our avatar customer is the middle-aged woman who probably doesn't have a husband. Her partner is her horse, and she lives and breathes riding.
Yep.
So, and they are the ones that are on Facebook.
Well, you might want to have a look at, I don't know if you've already looked at YouTube ads, whether that demographic may fit, but I've heard recently at the monthly beer meetup that I organise, someone say that there's a really good return on YouTube ads at the moment. They're quite inexpensive.
Okay.
So maybe have a look into that. We tried it a few years ago for the crowdfund for New Zealand whiskey, and it was quite successful. So how did you fund your business?
We didn't.
Right. So it's all pretty much just sweat equity. You didn't have to get bank finance or...
Yeah. Look, I tipped a bit of money in at the outset, but as soon as we started trading, we were making a profit. So all those profits went back in to produce more product for our production costs, introduce new product and new accessories. And so we didn't need any external funding, which was good. It's as I said, our product has been extremely successful insofar as people, it is a superior product, and the word gets around and people just purchase. And it's, we have had a lot of success that way at the outset without spending too much money in getting our sales.
Yeah, great. And so no government grants, even the R&D grant?
Oh, yes, we have. We do get our grants that are available. Yes, the R&D grant, the export grant.
EMDG, Export Market Development Grant. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, and we've just received a business grant, which is a government initiative, a federal government initiative, which is going to help us with our marketing.
Great.
Yeah, so we do take advantage of some grants, but unfortunately for example, the export grant, there's only so much money that is available. So I think there are 2 rounds. The first round, you usually get the first part of the grant, and then we've missed out on the second round because there's been no money left over for us. But so, sometimes it doesn't work as planned.
Yeah. If you were to start up today with plenty of funding, would you go into your industry?
That's a good question. I probably would, but there are pain points, because I get back to the fact that I love helping horses, but there are real pain points in this industry, and one is sizing. It's not like buying a necklace where it fits usually everyone.
Yep.
There are so many variables that come into sizing a horse's hoof, and so that's a major pain point in our business. Having said that, I think I would. It's so rewarding to be in this business, to be at the forefront of this type of industry, and being able to be disruptors in this industry, and as I said, it's just so rewarding. So yes, I would.
Oh, great. And can you outline the most stressful point in your small business growth journey so far, so our audience can learn from it?
Oh, I think the most stressful point is at the start, the first few years, where I was running around like a headless chook, trying to get everything done.
Yep.
It really did take a toll on my health.
Yeah.
So, what advice could I give back to others? I think really, I know that it's hard because you don't have the capital to employ people to get in there and help you, but you really do need to look after your health at the same time. So that's probably something that they need to be mindful of.
Yeah, great. And what area in business do you feel you had to work on the most to add the greatest value?
I think improving our product, tweaking our product, customer experience is a major thing that we need to look at, because we need to make that journey for the customer as seamless as we possibly can. So that really gives us value by allowing the customer to have that seamless journey. So that's something that we are always improving upon with our systems, with our team. We hold a regular customer experience team meeting every few weeks to ensure that we're giving the customer the best customer journey they can have.
Yep.
So yeah, there are so many ways you can add value to.
Yep. Yeah, that's great. Ben from Bulk Nutrients, he's got a big, who I had on the cast at the start of the year, he's got a big focus. He and the team there, I think there's up to 55, 60 people now. Very big focus on excellent customer service. I've actually literally just signed up to them, bought some product the other day, and I've been quite impressed by the whole flow through experience. And he's spoken before about the return they get. He did the numbers, and he threw an extra customer service person in the team, more than what the average person or business would, I guess. And he said it was a no-brainer to have a faster response time and happier customers. And they've won CanStar Awards, which is the bigger agency in Australia here that awards best customer service. So yeah, it's so important.
Especially nowadays, customers want instant satisfaction.
Yes.
And instant gratification, and that's so important. But of course, also you need to have a fast website. It needs to be mobile friendly. You need your IT systems in place, as I mentioned before. You need to optimize your website. So there are so many facets that allow you to give value back to the business.
And what have you enjoyed the least about managing the fast growth?
Not having spare time. I'd like to ride my horse more often, or I'd like to be able to just do what I want to do. And then, I get up in the morning and so many things happen overnight in the Northern Hemisphere that you might have to deal with. And it's just, it's overwhelming. It's constant. It's never ending. I get exhausted sometimes.
It's hard. Yeah, I've spoken about this before. It's a double-edged sword because we love what we do. So we have this, weakness, I guess, that we can work as much as we want because we really enjoy what we do.
Yes. Well, if I didn't enjoy what I do, I think I probably would have given up a long time ago.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's next question is, what do you love most about growing a small business?
I love the entrepreneurial journey that I'm on.
Yep.
My business excites me every day.
Yep.
And I love growing my business. I love seeing all the success people get out there in the world using our product. I mean, we have a lot of success stories. We don't just sell our product for riding a horse. We also sell our product for the rehab market. We see so many horses rehabbing in our scoot boots. We see people getting success in competition. We have horses being used, our product being used with horses in Grand Prix show jumping. And it's just seeing our product being used across the globe by so many different riders in so many different disciplines. So it just excites me every day seeing all of this when I wake up and I enter into the scoot boot world of people posting on social media. It gives me great joy.
It's a great feeling, yeah. And what's been the biggest mindset shift for you?
Trying to work on the business rather than in it.
Michael E. Gerber, the E-Myth, yes.
It's really hard to do because I keep on getting sucked back into it.
Yes.
And so I then have to draw myself back out and get back to working on it. But it's really difficult. Yep. And especially when, we're still growing and we still have so few people, as I keep on saying, we do run lean. So maybe one day I can finally just stay out of it.
Yep. And what's the number one habit you think a small business owner needs to develop and maintain?
I think staying inspired. You need to be passionate about the product that you sell. So I think, focusing on your product, I think, I'm lucky that I've got a product that I sell that I'm absolutely passionate about. So are many other people around the globe. So I think, staying inspired, staying focused.
Yeah, big one, focus, absolutely. Be the change you want to see in your business. Become more productive and less stressed with our free Transform Your Performance online course. Once you see the benefits, put your entire team through the course at no cost. We start out by telling you the secret to guaranteed success, then over 100 lessons help you be more focused, present, productive, and feel more in control about work. growasmallbusiness.com. Can you talk to how you added people to the team, some wins, mistakes, and advice for those listening?
Well, I've recruited wisely. Mm-hmm. I've got people that are way smarter than me in my business.
Yep.
And I think that the members of our team, most of them have horses. They have an equine background. And so they are passionate about horses as well. I also invite all our team members to give value to our business. We have a lot of strategic sessions where they bring their skills to the table. We're also a very dynamic business where we make a lot of spontaneous decisions on the move, so we don't have to go through all those processes of arriving at a decision.
Yep.
And so we're a type of business where we're all inclusive. I just, we give our employees a lot of, we don't micromanage. It's a great place to work in, a great space. We allow our employees to work remotely. We've had some employees traveling overseas and still working in the business.
Wow. Yeah.
And being an e-commerce business, so long as you have Wi-Fi, you're able to work anywhere in the world. I mean, I can go out in my boat fishing, not that I fish a lot, but I can go out in my boat and fish and still work.
Great.
It's just great to be able to go anywhere in the world and work.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think, having a business having a culture in our business where the employee is able to do all of those things, I think it creates a great working environment.
Yeah, well, that was the next question. What are some things you recommend to building a sustainable and kick-ass culture to help with that growth?
Yeah, I just think allowing the employees to grow in your business and to bring a lot to the table, and I guess, we allow them to learn while they're, having this journey in the Scoop Boot team. So I think, we're a collaborative team. We work together really well. We're in an open plan space, so we all come together when we're in the office, when we're not working remotely. I've actually forgotten the question that you've asked.
Culture.
The culture.
Culture.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great culture, and we have a great team, and we all love to work together.
Yep.
Of course, being in a small team, you need to be able to work together and get on well together.
Yeah.
Luckily we have team members who all work well together, so we don't have any problems there.
Yeah, great. The next question, how much professional development did you invest in yourself? I think being an ex-barrister, you might be a bit attuned to, studying up on topics.
Yeah. Well, I did a lot of research and a lot of reading, as us barristers do.
Yep.
I thought I had done sufficient research prior to launching, but in hindsight, I really had done nothing at all. But look, I like to always constantly. The e-commerce world is changing all the time. There are so many different apps and platforms that are coming into this space. So I constantly read and constantly conduct podcasts. Even when I'm out in the garden, I have podcasts going. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm always attending webinars. I did an entrepreneurial course at the outset after we had launched. So that was quite useful, and and also networking with people.
Yeah, so important.
It is so important because it is a lonely journey, the entrepreneurial journey. Yeah. So it's great to be able to just get on the phone and ask someone else how they manage to deal with all the pain points in an e-commerce business. So it's just constant learning every day.
Yep. If you had mentors or coaches along the way, maybe tell us about that experience and the value added.
Yeah, I did. I have had mentors along the way. We have been involved in awards, the Telstra Business Awards, and also the Tasmanian Export Awards and International Export Awards, where we've had success there. We've won these awards and we've won national awards. And by doing so, we are able to hook up with other entrepreneurs. So I've been able to network with these people. I've been able to network and connect with stakeholders in the industry. So it's been great. I've had a mentor, Richard Watson, who is a mentor with a small business mentoring service, which is an initiative of the federal government. So he's held my hand along the way throughout the years. So it's just you really do. If I can give advice to business owners out there, is get a mentor at the start.
Yep, agreed.
Because I did this on my own and I made a lot of mistakes along the way.
Yep, me too.
So, but you don't make those mistakes again.
Yeah.
So yes, seek out a mentor for sure.
Great. And do you have a board of directors or advisors?
No, we don't. It has been on the agenda for perhaps appointing a board later on down the track, but we've been so busy trying to keep our head above water and do what we have to do from day to day. We just have put that on the back burner. On
the back burner. I'm about to put an article up on LinkedIn about when a business should, set up a board of advisors or directors. I'll shoot that through to you when that's live. The key advice there, from my experience, is start with your chairperson, and then build your board around that. Obviously, to the weaknesses of the team that you need on those strengths on the board. Yeah, I'll shoot that through to you when it's live, though.
Thank you.
All right, Annette, we're on to our final 5 questions. What do you think is the hardest thing in growing a small business?
The first 2 years. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I kind of know what I'm doing now, but you make so many mistakes in those first few years, and And, those mistakes are quite costly. So I think that was the hardest thing in growing a small business. And as I said before, get help at the outset.
Yep.
I didn't really, because I really didn't know what I was in for. I didn't know the mistakes that I was going to make. So I wasn't ready for it.
You didn't know what you didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Favourite business book which has helped you the most?
No, I haven't really got a favourite business book. I have read a few books, but I wouldn't call them my favourite.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy Janine Ellis of Boost Juice, her
Yep.
first book that she published.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't have a favourite book.
Yep. Any great podcasts or online learning tools for professional development?
Any podcast that's relevant to a business.
Yep.
I just soak all of that up. I'm constantly listening to business podcasts, but I especially love The Mentor with Mark Bouris.
Yep.
He has a lot of guests on his podcast who are entrepreneurs who share their entrepreneurial journey, which I love to listen to.
Yeah.
So, and it really resonates with me because, of course, I've been down that same journey.
Yeah. Great. That's on my list to add to in my next bushwalk. One tool you'd recommend to help grow a small business?
Just get those sophisticated IT systems in place.
Great advice. Final and my favourite question, what would you tell yourself on day one of starting out?
Get help. Oh, it's so important to get someone to assist you. Just try and get advice from anyone you possibly can. Reach out to anyone you can find, and that's why in relation to these awards that we've won, I've wanted to, not only is it a platform to market our business, but it's a platform to just give your time back to others who are going down that same entrepreneurial road where you really do need help. So, if anyone wants advice, I've got 6 years of the entrepreneurial journey under my belt, which I can certainly help others reach out to get that help.
Great. Well, we've got our second monthly beer meet up next week, which I mentioned before. So I'll send you that invite. We're looking at about 40 people coming to that one. We had 25 at the first one. And the topic of this 15 to 20-minute talk is on pricing. So we're going to have a world-leading firm, a partner from the Sydney office speaking on that, obviously on video, thanks to COVID. But yeah, again.
Sounds fantastic. I would have loved to have attended these type of events prior to launching my product. But I couldn't. I didn't know of any events.
Yeah, that's right.
I was just a babe in the woods back then.
Well, thanks for your time today, Annette. I think the audience will get a ton of value out of what you shared with us today. And congratulations to you and Dave and the wider team on the success. That's really wonderful to hear. And you should be very proud of what you've all achieved.
Thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to do it without my team.
Yep.
Without them, I would probably be, I don't know where I'd be. But I really have to give thanks to the team. They are an awesome team.
Yeah, I can't remember the quote, but if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go the long haul, bring a team along. Yeah.
Thanks, Troy. Well, thanks so much for having me, and I hope that a lot of people out there can get a bit of insight into the entrepreneurial world. And it can be a lonely one.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Troy.
Bye. That's it. Thanks for listening. Please leave a review in iTunes or whatever platform you listen to us on. It means more small business owners will find our cast and help people with their business growth journey.